Welcome to the Learning for Legacy show with me, your host, Afam Onyenakala. This is all about the concept of making generational wealth understandable, practical, and accessible. I'll be exploring a range of topics and sharing conversations, interviews, and more. Because what good is building wealth if we don't build the people? Hello everyone and welcome again to the show. On this episode, we will focus again on one part of the Learning for Legacy 4L framework, the leadership reagent. Just to recap, in chemistry, a reagent is simply a substance used to produce a chemical reaction, the type to rearrange the molecular or ionic structure to form a new compound. Making a difference to build generational wealth within our households again takes leadership, which demands courage of us in deciding to become that reagent first. Now, the theme of transformational leadership has been characterized when a leader's behavior can inspire the actions of his or her followers to higher levels of morality and achievement. Many people have studied this concept made popular within James McGregor Burns' book on leadership, which was first published in 1978. This touches on what I shared on earlier episodes where your philosophy of service has a great deal to do with balancing both sharing the vision of why generational wealth is important with the mission of what you will do to enable and motivate your family and others to buy into it. Now, these are some things we've addressed in previous episodes of the show, but today I'd like to summarize 6 areas that we can continuously work on within our own lives towards becoming a template, not just as wealth creators, but to also set our families onto the journey of generational wealth. The first is intrapersonal drive. This is where your determination to succeed must be internally driven and not dependent necessarily on the encouragement of external stimuli. We must all have a reason why, which is significant. A philosophy of service for why you want to build generational wealth. Number 2, being a visionary. This is where your words and example set the tone and present a compelling picture of what's possible. I talk about this in episode 2 by asking the question, why generational wealth? Number 3, competence. This is to do with your skill level. Personal development and growth is the absolute bedrock for this. All of us can become better, stronger, and wiser by learning and applying what we need to know in order to evolve into the future version of ourselves, which is in essence the real you. Sometimes we just don't know that yet. In episode 7 on learning revolutions, I elaborate on why understanding both our learning and thinking styles helps to accelerate the process. Number 4, character. That synergy of integrity, humility, and trust. Your character often speaks loudest about you without you even having to open your mouth. This is the real you. Not the personality that everyone necessarily sees, but it's really about who you are behind closed doors. What are you really like when no one else is watching? Integrity is derived from the word integer, which essentially means one and the same, an absence of duplicity. So if we can bridge the consistency gap between the personality that everyone sees with who we are in private, this facilitates a transaction of authenticity and trust with other people. And ultimately, people will buy into you before they buy into any product, service, endeavor, or vision that you present before them. Number 5, interpersonal excellence. This is about building wonderful connections with people. This involves the emotional intelligence towards building networks of quality relationships. And every type of relationship is different, ranging from acquaintances, colleagues, friends, family, confidants, and mentors, for example. Our influence within our networks can translate to transformational leadership as we exhibit a balance of character and competence, which I describe in episode 1 as being two wings of the same plane. Number 6, flexibility. This involves learning, changing, and adapting to new ways of doing things within both social and economic landscapes where necessary. This is about maintaining a future-orientated focus within the backdrop of the post-COVID-19 new economic reality we all now face, as discussed within episode 5 of the show. I appreciate everyone who has listened to Learning for Legacy, and if you like what you've heard, please download a free report on a mindset towards creating wealth from our website at www.legacylearning.co.uk. If listening via podcast app, please leave a review. If via the YouTube channel, please like and subscribe to the channel for up-to-date notifications. Thanks for listening to Learning for Legacy. To join our community or find out about what else we get up to, you can follow us on Twitter at Legacy Learning or on our website at www.legacylearning.co.uk. To access additional content or exclusives from this particular episode, please find the information within the show notes.